What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos, so welcome to a new episode of Take It to the Table. Yes, you know what time it is. You know what we're going to be starting talking about. As you all know, it is AEW weekend, and tonight is the All Out pay-per-view. So yeah, we're going to be obviously delving into the match card. I'm going to give you my predictions of the match outcomes. We're going to be talking about, of course, Rampage that happened last Friday, as well as SmackDown, and obviously just give my little thoughts on what's happened on the show. I'm also going to be talking about Jon Moxley showing up on GCW this weekend. We're going to be talking about a major company possibly buying WWE. We're going to delve into that as well. But before we get into that, let's take it to the table. Yes, sir. So as I said, AEW All Out is on tonight, live in Chicago, Illinois, my hometown, just saying. So yeah, it's gonna be completely lit. They built up to this pay-per-view spectacularly. The past episodes of Rampage and Dynamite have been very good, piecing together these matches, and it's all culminating to pretty much, I think, is their WrestleMania. I'd say this was their first. It was initially All In, and then they did All Out, and then of course I think this would be their WrestleMania. Besides Double or Nothing, between All Out and Double or Nothing is pretty much their WrestleMania. But anyway, let's dive right in. So of course there's going to be the buy-in. So the pre-show basically, and that is going to have the match of the Best Friends and Jurassic Express versus the Hardy Family Office and the Hybrid 2. I think this is obviously going to get the crowd going. Most likely, I'd say my prediction is going to be the Best Friends and Jurassic Express going forward with this. Everyone, obviously, Orange Cassidy and the whole Best Friend faction is very over. Jurassic Express, everyone loves Jurassic Express. So yeah, I would say the win is going to go to Hardy Family Office and the Hybrid 2 on that one. Then it's going to go straight to the main card. Now is the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale for a shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. This was initially on the buy-in, but now they bumped it up because Pac and the match between Pac and Andrade. I always get his name wrong. Andrade Idolo got moved over to next week's Rampage due to travel issues. So that's been moved up. All the major women are going to be in there. Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Tay Conti, Demonte, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, Abaddon is in there. Layla Hirsch, Kaylin King, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay, Rio, Sky Blue, and also the Joker as well. There is rumors circulating that it could be very much Ruby Riott, or it could be Tessa Blanchard. My money is on Ruby Riott, or Ruby Soho, as she would like to be called now. Tessa Blanchard, I don't think that's really on the cards. I say my money will be on Ruby Soho. I would be very surprised if she wins. So far, the trend for people that ends up as the Joker tend to not win the Battle Royale. So my money is pretty much, I would say, on Jade Cargill. I would say Jade Cargill, if not maybe Rio. She hasn't really had a chance to go back for her her Women's Championship. Obviously, she had the rematch against Nyla Rose when she lost it. But ever since then, she's gone pretty much quiet. She went back to Japan, and but now she's back. Those three, if you want to include Ruby Soho, if she shows up, then yeah, she's obviously a potential winner, or Jade Cargill or Rio. But my money, I would say, is Jade Cargill. They've given her quite a good push now. So I'll say that that's my pick for the win on that. So next up is going to be Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. So this is going to be, it's going to be just hard hitting. It's strong style. Jon Moxley thrives on that kind of stuff. But my money is going to go on Jon Moxley for the win. It's going to be hard hitting, going to be quite lengthy. Obviously, at the end, it's going to pay respects to him. But yeah, it's going to be brutal. It is going to be brutal, but it's going to be enjoyable. So yeah, Jon Moxley for the win on that one. Next up is going to be Paul White versus QT Marshall. So it looks like QT Marshall is going to be having some of his members from the factory in his corner. I must say, even though I said at the beginning of this episode that they've built up these storylines perfectly, this one kind of fell flat for me. There was a lot of awkward moments, especially last week on Dynamite, when obviously Paul White came out and then he took out most of the factory, got chokeslam, and then there was the awkward run-in with the Gun Club. They just showed up. I feel like they missed their time in jumping in. They came in, and then all of a sudden the Gun Club just turns on Paul White, attacking his hip. So I think it's likely in that case. It wouldn't surprise me if QT Marshall gets the W for this one. Yeah, it's a real. This is one I'm least looking forward to. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Paul White is going to be Paul White. QT Marshall is a good wrestler. But yeah, I think he's going to get the dub on this one. And then see what the hell is going on between the Gun Club and Paul White. We'll see what happens there. So yeah, next up is Chris Jericho versus MJF, where the stipulation is if Jericho loses, he will have to retire. So when it comes to these kind of matches, I don't know. I really hate those stipulations where, like the same thing with Roman Reigns against John Cena, when he put that stipulation and says if he loses, he will leave WWE. That pretty much puts the writing on the wall for me. I don't really like the fact that they put in these stipulations where it pretty much tells the outcome of these matches, and it really takes the wind out of it for me. So I'm not saying that Jericho, there's no chance for Jericho to retire, but I think he still has a lot to give, and he hasn't shown any signs that he's looking to retire anytime soon. He's loving AEW. He's loving putting these younger wrestlers over, and yeah, it's about time. I think obviously at the end of most storylines, the good guy always has to win. You know what I mean? So at first I thought the last match, I thought that was going to be it, and I was just like, wow, they actually let the bad guy win to put the young guy over, and that was it. I was fine with that. But now since they've gone the extra mile and putting this on, and now it's put a stipulation, it's kind of like almost like, yeah, the writing's on the wall. Shout out to Jeff Hardy's theme song. That Jericho's gonna win. So my prediction is gonna be Jericho. I don't think it's time to leave. I don't think he's hanging up the boots just yet. I think he's still got a lot to give. Oh my god, what is that? What is that in my hair? Oh my goodness. What the hell? Why didn't you guys tell me? I say that, yeah, Jericho going to get the W on this one. And then that should hopefully be the end of it. I mean, I love long-term booking. This is long-term booking at its finest. But yeah, I think, yeah, once this is done, let MJF carry on. But then again, he's got the undefeated streak. Are they actually going to let go of that undefeated streak to Jericho? I don't know. That's a good point. MJF is technically undefeated. We have to wait and see. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, still, my pick is gonna be Jericho on this one. So next up is Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW TNT Championship. Now, this is gonna be great. Eddie Kingston, great talk on the mic. The little promo that they had with between him and Miro on Rampage was great. Loved it. And yeah, it's gonna be back and forth, but I got Miro for the W on this one. It's gonna be a while since someone takes the title off Miro. I can't really say who. I'm not really sure who could possibly take it away from him. But I'm liking this run. I'm liking this gimmick. He's found his niche now. He's found his place, and he's not lost in the wind with the best man thing. This Redeemer stuff, I love it. Yeah, people are saying like, oh, he's pretty much in the same spot that he was in at. He's just a mid carder, but that's fine. Make it. You know, people will be pissed if he just got shut up into the main event scene and then instantly challenging for the AEW title, and you know, be winning that, and then people will just say, oh, it's an ex-WWE star. You know, it's give it time. I think he will become AEW World Champion in the long run, but give it time. He's a top mid carder right now, and yeah, I'm loving the run, and yeah, let's see what happens from there onwards. But yeah, like I said, Miro for the dub on this one. Next up is my favorite, the match I'm mostly looking forward to. It is the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros for the AEW World Tag Team Championships in a cage match. This is gonna be absolutely, like, so far my top 3 matches in AEW history are the ladder match between Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks, the Young Bucks versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. There was an episode on Dynamite. It was Jon Moxley versus Pac versus Kenny Omega. That was freaking lit. I'm pretty sure it was them 3. Yeah, and it was that was my top 3 matches on AEW. So yeah, I love it when the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros mix it together. You know it's gonna be a spot fest, but it's gonna be innovative. Ray Phoenix is gonna do some mad shite, but I'm gonna freaking love it. They have great chemistry. Yeah, let's hope they put on a match of the year candidate, and yeah, just bring it home. But yeah, my picks for this one is gonna be Lucha Bros. I think now is gonna be the time where the Elite start to lose the championships, but yeah, that's my pick. Lucha Bros for the win on this one, and yeah, it's gonna be a great match, absolutely great. Next up is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for the AEW Women's World Championship, and she's facing Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander is, since her return from injury, she's been on an absolute tear. I feel she's more tolerable now than when I first was introduced to her. Like, this alien stuff was a bit cringe, but now they kind of stepped away from it. They're still saying that she's an alien, but it's not full on in your face. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying that. I think that's why she's more tolerable. She's great. She's put some good matches. But yeah, the win has to go to Britt Baker. She's the chosen one right now. Simple as, she's the chosen one, and you know, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I'd say by the numbers, Britt Baker's gonna get the W for this one. Next up is, of course, the match that everyone's going to be looking forward to, especially the Chicago crowd, is CM Punk versus Darby Allin. His first match in over 7 years. He's been teasing his ring gear that is on his Instagram, and it looks like he's going to be donning the usual attire that we've all come to know and love in WWE. So it's not going to be a huge change. It's going to be it's gonna be awesome. So we'll see what happens on there. But yeah, this one I'm very torn because obviously Darby Allin is hot right now. He's in top tier type of feuds. But obviously it's CM Punk. The CM Punk lose to Darby Allin on his first match back in 7 years. Are people gonna complain that CM Punk is burying Darby Allin? Either way, it's going to be a freaking great match. It's going to be great. I know that CM Punk says he's going to be nervous because the reason he's nervous, it shows that he cares because, he wants to put on a great match. I don't think it's going to be some awkward botch fest. Obviously, there might be a little bit of ring rust, understandably. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great match either way. But yeah, my money is going to go on CM Punk for this one. Just simply because obviously it's in the Chicago crowd. Obviously they're gonna eat it up regardless. That he's finally back. Thank God, kind of thing. But yeah, I think my money is gonna go on CM Punk to go and get in the W on this one. It's gonna be a great match. Definitely one of the matches of the night, I think. Yeah. Now I'm just wondering. I think I say they're probably gonna open up with this match. I'd say get out of the way, because same as what they did when on the night when it was like the worst kept secret in wrestling about CM Punk returning on Rampage. I think they're gonna do it the same, because the crowd will just completely take over the show, keep calling for CM Punk and whatnot. So I think it makes sense for them to possibly get it out of the way at the beginning, if not maybe the second match, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I don't have to put it in the co-main event. I'd say get it out of the way, and then yeah, carry on from there, see what happens. But yeah, my money is on CM Punk getting the W against on over Darby Allin. And next up is, of course, the main event. Kenny Omega, the current AEW World Champion, is going toe-to-toe against Christian Cage for the AEW World Title. Yeah, it's just a standard singles match. Now this one, I ain't gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be on maybe on a lesser level pay-per-view, on All Out. Not to say Christian Cage doesn't deserve it. I just don't think that this warranted a world title at this pay-per-view. I was hoping to maybe could face someone that's a more greater threat. Sure, obviously Christian won the Impact Championship, but I think that's his ceiling. I don't think it's gonna go any further. Christian Cage to win the world title in AEW, I don't think that will go well. I don't think it really makes sense. I think it would just make sense that Kenny Omega, obviously he's become the belt collector, but he will do anything to protect or keep the AEW World Championship out of all the championships that he has, So yeah, I think because of that, he's gonna throw everything, including the kitchen sink, to keep the world title. And so yeah, I think my money's gonna be on Kenny Omega to retain. And then hopefully you're gonna see the return finally of Hangman Page. I think you're probably going to see Hangman Page come through, or the long rumored arrival of Bryan Danielson. I was about to say I was trying to say Bryan Danielson, but I still had Daniel on my so it was Bryan. But yeah, no, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. He might show up and probably go face to face with Kenny Omega. My money is on Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. And yeah, that is pretty much the match card, obviously subject to change. But yeah, that is the match card currently for the AEW All Out pay-per-view. Let me know your thoughts as well. Who are your predictions for all these match types? Or should I say match types? Or for all these matches on the card. And yeah, that's it. That is my prediction on AEW All Out 2021. So let's go through a quick rundown of the last SmackDown and Rampage shows that happened on last Friday. Let's start off with SmackDown. So yeah, there's a couple major highlights. I'll just go run right through them. So the show started off with Becky Lynch coming out, still basically saying, she's back. People saying, undermining her win at WrestleMania. She's pissed at people not giving her "you deserve it" chance. More and more slowly leaning into the heel perspective of things. And then Bianca came out, still, obviously saying, step up, let's fight. And again, Becky Lynch pretty much saying no. She's refusing to wrestle Bianca Belair until it became apparent later in the night that Bianca Belair will be facing Becky Lynch for the women's title at the Extreme Rules for the title, and the contract signing is happening next week in Madison Square Garden. And yeah, she was quite pissed about that. Becky Lynch I'm speaking about, and she just walked away. So we are definitely getting that, which is obviously which was expected. I'm still not agreeing to the fact that they're still trying to make Becky Lynch heel, but it is what it is. What else happened? Then Cesaro came out and defeated Seth Rollins via disqualification after Rollins used a steel chair. Great match between them two, obviously. And then obviously Seth Rollins was looking to he was doing the crossface maneuver to Cesaro at the end, and then he was looking to possibly do the concerto, I think. And then Edge made this glorious return since SummerSlam. It looks like he's saying he's pissed off that this thing won't end. He was hoping he put Seth Rollins in his place, but he's gonna face each other. They're gonna face each other next week. Also, they're gonna face each other also at Madison Square Garden. So that's gonna be huge. And then of course, what else happened? Sami Zayn defeated Dominic again via a haluva kick via pinfall, with slight distractions from Dominic's father, still teasing that Dominic's going to turn heel and is probably going to have a father and son feud. Love it. So yeah, that's I can't wait for that to happen. If it does happen, I hope it does. But yeah, that's what happened. And of course, the main event was Roman Reigns against Finn Balor for the Universal Championship. And yeah, it was a great match. Absolutely great. There was actual moments where I was thinking, oh my God, Finn might freaking win. But the close finishes, the close pinfalls was just absolutely great. It was good. And obviously, it was to the point where you didn't realize that when it came to the final pin, well, not to the second to last final pin, when Finn pinned Roman, he did his classic low blow whilst in the pin position. But you didn't realize until they showed a replay, and it was just absolutely great. And it's to the point where they're not rinsing that move. He hasn't done it in a while for you to completely forget about it, and that's what really brought up the tension in the match. But Roman Reigns retained, and yeah, then at the end, when he was walking out of the ring, the lights went red, and then there was like that heartbeat. And at first, people were saying, "Oh, is it Lesnar?" I'm just like, no, Lesnar doesn't do this kind of shenanigans. He doesn't do it. But yeah, then there's obviously the tease of Demon Finn Balor, which is very interesting. As far as I'm aware, Demon Finn Balor has not lost a match. Could he be the one to actually take away the title from Roman Reigns? That is very interesting. I mean, if Finn Balor gets to become Universal Champion, fair enough. It's better than Lesnar. It's better than Lesnar. And then maybe the feud between Lesnar and Reigns is going to be non-title. I don't know. Or could Reigns be the first one to actually defeat the Demon? It's going to be very interesting. But so far, as I'm aware, to my knowledge, Demon Finn Balor has not lost a match. So if he does break that out, possibly at Extreme, if he does break that out, possibly at Extreme Rules, then yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Finn Balor, or Demon Finn Balor, should I say, could be the one to dethrone the head of the table, or do you prefer Lesnar, or do you wish for him to keep it up until Mania and then Big E cashes in and becomes Universal Champion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The next up was AEW Rampage. In my opinion, this was so far their weakest episode, dare I say. Nothing spectacular happened. There's only 3 matches: Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia. Then there was Chris Statlander versus Rebel and Jamie Hayter, and Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson. The Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson match was it was okay. Again, another awkward finish. But yeah, obviously you can see that he's systematically taking out everyone from the Nightmare family one by one, and obviously now he's going to be facing Dustin Rhodes next week on Dynamite. But yeah, it's okay. Then other than that, there was obviously Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia with CM Punk on commentary. Darby Allin got the win, and then they obviously beat him down. CM Punk came down, and then he was obviously pushing back 2.0. and then obviously Darby Allin did a cannonball or suicida through the ropes, and then they had this face off, and then that was it. The show was done. So yeah, it was okay. But yeah, definitely the weakest one. That's why I'm just brushing right past it. It was an average episode of Rampage, but I think they've done enough for storylines to progress and finalize and culminate, so to speak, at All Out tonight. So weak episode of Rampage, but didn't take away the momentum going into All Out. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. So this past weekend, Dean Ambrose became face-to-face with Zack Ryder. Nah, let me be respectful. Jon Moxley showed up on GCW against Matt Cardona last night at their pay-per-view. And basically there was a cage match, and I don't know if you've been following GCW, but there was at one point where Matt Cardona showed up in a cloak, and this was about a few months back, and he showed up in all cloaked up and done the paradigm shift finisher, and trolled the crowd. Everyone's saying, "Oh shit, is it Jon Moxley?" And then he unraveled himself, and it was Matt Cardona underneath, completely trolling the fans, middle fingering them, all this kind of stuff. Got tons of heat, but it was great, went viral. And now this time, currently, he won the GCW World Championship. So he's the current GCW World Champion. He was in a cage, and then with someone else also donning the cloak, and everything. And then he also hit the paradigm shift on Matt Cardona. So everyone was just like, "Oh shit, is it Jon Moxley?" He unraveled himself, turned out to be Jon Moxley. And not only did he do that, he done it again on those LED light things. You've seen it on AEW Dynamite again when Chris Jericho had them, the light tubes. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, light tubes. And done a paradigm shift on those. And now he's the current GCW World Champion. So yeah, and then Matt Cardona left the ring. Jon Moxley was celebrating, and then he called out Nick Gage out. If those that don't know, he was the one that faced Chris Jericho on AEW in the five labors of Jericho in a brutal hardcore match. And it looks like he's gonna be facing him for the GCW World Championship. Didn't really say where they're facing, but yeah, Jon Moxley is your new GCW World Champion. Go and look it up on Twitter or on YouTube as well. It's on live. It's online right now, and it was a welcoming surprise. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not an avid GCW fan, but it was pretty cool to see Jon Moxley on there, and the crowd was going wild, absolutely wild for him. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, like I said, Jon Moxley, your new GCW World Champion. And finally, Mickey Mouse is buying WWE. No, I'm playing. So yeah, so basically, there is talks. Well, it's a rumor right now. Please take it with a grain of salt, the smallest grain of salt. But there is a rumor circulating that Disney is in talks to buy WWE. So basically, what happened is, sometime last year, Dutch Mantel, if those that don't remember, he was the manager of Alberto Del Rio, Jack Swagger, Cesaro, and he was the one that started the We the People thing. That guy, he did put out a tweet saying that at some point last year that Disney was in the process of buying WWE. They're part of this little process of that actually becoming true. So of course, over the course of this year, they've been cutting people left, right, and center, on screen, off screen, everything, everyone from top to bottom due to budget cuts. All right. So the usual process of this is the reason that they tend to do this, even though they are they're a billion-dollar franchise. They usually do this before they are planning to make a sale, maximize profits, so like a potential buyer would pay more for the company, right? And obviously every year they do all these releases. It's normal, but this year so far has been the worst, and it's not been just during one period. It's been over the course of 2021 that they've been making major cuts, and it's mainly because obviously with talent that has had big contracts like Braun Strowman, like Bray Wyatt. So now, obviously since then, obviously WWE has made a deal with Comcast to merge the WWE network with the Peacock streaming service. So far, been a bit controversial, been very bad with quality and connection problems, all that kind of stuff. So luckily, obviously in the UK, we don't have to deal with that. We still got the network. Fingers crossed it stays like that. Fingers crossed. So yeah, obviously now the talk about WWE selling to Disney is coming up again. So it says now Disney was supposedly in talks with WWE to have WWE Network merge with ESPN Plus before the deal with Peacock was made. With WWE apparently unhappy with the deal, the talks with Disney to acquire the company and have their content on ESPN Plus instead maybe what Vince is planning, though Comcast could swoop in and offer Vince more money. So there is talk of them obviously selling the network to maybe Disney Plus or ESPN. It's gonna be very weird. Sorry, it's gonna be very weird to see, WWE Raw or Extreme Rules on Disney Plus. But then again, they do have like things like The Walking Dead on Disney Plus over here, and I was just like, that's not kid friendly. But it's on there. Many wrestling fans, if this proves to be true, they are concerned that if WWE sells, that not only will they obviously sell the company to Disney, they could easily get the boot, and for a company that's been in the family for almost 60 years. So obviously the last time a corporate conglomerate owned a pro wrestling company was when Ted Turner owned WCW, but the product went downhill in quality due to various backstage issues, and with the Time Warner AOL merger, WCW was sold to Vince McMahon and merged the two wrestling promotions. So yeah, I don't know. People obviously are kind of worried if this is the case. But yeah, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I'd be very surprised if it does go to Disney. Be very weird. Like, you're gonna see more appearances from like freaking the Muppets and the Simpsons on Monday Night Raw. For those that don't know, Disney bought Fox, and Simpsons is under Fox, so they own it. But yeah, if they do that, you're gonna see a lot of cross promotion, and most of it's gonna be freaking cringe. It's mostly gonna be cringe. So I hope it doesn't happen. I do hope they do plan to sell at some point, or if when Vince obviously eventually relinquishes power, could give it to someone like Triple H maybe or something. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you think will be best for WWE? Do you think they should sell? Should they keep it within the family? Or are you just totally satisfied with Vince being at the helm until he's on his deathbed? Let me know in the comments, okay? And we've come to the end of the show, guys. That is it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What would you like to see at All Out? What you thought of SmackDown and Rampage? And of course, this possible sale that could happen going to Disney. So yeah, just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, make sure you go and check out WrestlingRepublic.com for all the latest news, opinions, debates, all controversies, all that kind of stuff. And be sure to go check us out at Wrestling Republic on Instagram. This episode will be going live on YouTube and Instagram TV. And also be sure to make sure you follow me on Instagram at official_TITTT. You'll see it down here. And I've been your host, Chaos. Until next time, guys. Peace.